familiar space walking up to our office. For folks who don't know, this is actually the third office that we have had in College Park. The second one is actually right here across the hall, much smaller. You'll see some pictures. And there's one more space that only Laurel and a few others can tell you about, that I've heard is maybe about the size of our storage hallway here. This space used to be a dentist's office, so we often make jokes about resonant historical pain in the teeth. So here's the office. You used to come in here, you would get greeted by Gary or Candace or whichever intern was working in this particular space. My office was over here. You had different staff people all occupying different parts of these cubicles, with Laurel here and some of our storage space as well. This is what we called the small conference room. It was previously called the war room, then the peace room, and then briefly the situation room, and we eventually settled on the small conference room. In this copy room, now somewhat cleaned out, you had copies from flyers and mailers and petitions and banners, materials to make every possible amazing activist tool. I once found a button press and button maker up there. Back in our storage room, one of my favorite places, the light is out so you can't see so well, but it stores everything you would need to put on a jamboree and feed 250 people. Somewhere in here are tons of outdoor outings, weed removal tools. I love a space that has a saw next to a coffee maker, very representative of all of the different things that Sierra Club people might work on. These cubicles we got free from a law firm that was closing down. We call this intern row, although anybody who's ever been here knows that the interns always love to just come and occupy this massive wooden conference table that we took on. But what I really wanted to spend a little bit of time on was just commemorating some of these great posters and banners. This is just a small amount of the memories from the campaigns and actions that we had. And in a future space, we're planning to go into all of our old boxes and archives and try to have a room or many rooms that commemorate all of the campaigns that we've saved the literature on. The UC, campaigns for clean air and clean water, a copy of the Jemez Principles, photos from and banners from the People's Climate March and the People's Climate Movement and our Beyond Coal campaign, our collaboration with our friends in labor, Sierra Club Stands with Workers. Up here we have our banner in support of offshore wind and fighting fracking. Over here you have what is now an office closing plan and our coding system. They used to have our massive calendar of all the different interns that were coming in. And before we take these down, some visioning collages that a couple of our interns and staff did. At any one point in the office, it's alive with the energy of people coming and going, from staff people and interns to volunteers, some of whom pop in for an hour or two, some of whom came in very often, weekly or more often than that. And as we pack up, we're finding just all of these little pieces of our history. And so we're going to document a lot of that. We're going to share a lot of that tonight. I want to assure everybody that we're saving anything that has historical significance, and we'll be thinking about not just saving it, but a better way to organize and archive it once it comes out of the storage unit at our new future office. So that's a little fun walkthrough of the office in its in-between state of packing, and happy to be able to share it with you.